Hello and welcome to part 2 of my engine service for the Defender TD5. Enjoy. Let's have a look at the centrifugal oil filter. That lives just in there. It's inside this cover. Let's just pull off out of the way. I probably would do. I don't need to get it out of the way though. It's just in there. It's three bolts in there. I don't know what they are, 8mm maybe. I don't know. 9mm, and you pop it off. It's got an oil seal on the top, and then it just sits inside. You just take one out, put that one back in, pop a bit of oil around the seal, and put it back on again. I'll have a look. I'm gonna get my iPhone on there because it's easy to get at. So this is a centrifugal oil filter. Apparently, it does quite a good job. It's got two 10mm bolts, one there, one just in there. You can't quite see; it's a bit dark. It's there, promise you. And just gonna get a 10mm socket on there, pop the 2 bolts off and lift it off. Okay, so that's the 2 bolts off. I'm just gonna pop this off now. It's gonna reach in and lift it out of the way. It should pop off quite easily. Just give it a wiggle and lift it up. It's a bit awkward with one hand, but actually it's not too bad. It's actually come out quite easily. And no oil ring. Right, the oil seal's not on there. That's because it's not on there, and it's just there. Look, it's going to pop. That's the centrifugal oil filter, and there's the O-ring which just sits on the outside edge. As I say, it's all included in the kit. I'll just pick that off, throw that away. We've got a new one of those. Get rid of that in a minute. And there's the filter. It just lifts out. It's just on a spindle. Just lifts straight out, simple, just like that. Ah! Plus oil coming out of it. That's a pain. I was hoping to do it really cleanly. I've left a bit of a mess, but I'll clean that up now. There's the spin. You just drop the oil filter back in. I'm just going to clean that up. Okay, so that's the replacement centrifugal filter. There's the O-ring replacement, and there's the bell housing that goes on the outside, and there's the filter, centrifugal filter housing inside, and I'm just going to pop this back on. So the O-ring just pop back over the outside of here. It's a bit awkward. I've got one hand. Hang on. There you go. Just squish it over. So that's over there. That's that done. That'll be fine on there. Just when you tighten it up. I'm just going to take this. This just pops straight in on that spindle. It's pretty straightforward. Just drops on. That's it, straight on, and that spins. Sometimes that spins round, and all the particles in the oil get spun out to the outside, and it catches them all. Keeps the oil clean. Pretty clever. It's quite a good job apparently. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just going to pop the lid back on, do the nuts up, bolts up rather, and job done. I might cut the old one open later on and have a look inside. I couldn't help myself, but I've cut one of these open. I wanted to have a look, see how it looks. So I'll get a little bit of gentle cutting to have a look inside. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that's better, isn't it? There you go. So that's all the crud, really thick tar. It's caught all the big lumps of particles. So the oil must get pumped through the centre, come up through this gap when it's spinning round, and all the lumps, all the hard gritty bits get centrifugally spun out. Can't really see that, can you? Yeah, to the inside edge. It spins really fast, and all the lumps inside there get stuck to the outside, and then I guess when you're resting and the engine's not running, they just sink to the bottom and collect on here because it's quite big lumps of tar. Well, it does quite a good job. Anyway, there you go. It's enough. Now I'll put the lid back on so you can see what it looks like. Bit of creative cutting going on there. Anyway, nice. Right, so I've done just quickly whiz them on with a hand socket set, and then I'm just going to torque them up with a little nip with these just to finish them off. So nip those 2 bolts back up, and we'll just drop back underneath the engine to put the stump plug back in. Gave it plenty of time for the oil to drain. It's all drained, most of it. There's a couple of drips coming out still, but not much. So I'm just going to stick the stump plug in with a new washer. It's in there. Just going to do it up by hand to start off with. Screw it up tight, finger tight. That's fine for the minute. Just give it a little wipe. And I'm just going to move this bucket of oil out of the way and get that out. Okay, so it's a good job I did put this down because there's quite a few oil splodges here and there that it's caught. I'm quite happy about that. Okay, so that's that done. Oil's gone. I'm just going to torque this up. No, I'm not going to torque it up. I'm just going to nip it up. Well, a bit more than nip it up, because that copper washer has got to be compressed. So I'm going to let it get squish. And just one more big squish. Right, that's it. Done. Okay, finished. So now I've got to put 7 litres of oil in. That's the oil filter, the centrifuge filter, and the oil drain from the engine. Don't forget to put the stump plug back in before you put the oil in. It's easily done, well, especially by me. And the air filter done. That was a bit of a fiddle actually, but so far it hasn't taken too long. I've been filming and everything else. I started at 9, it's now 11, so 2 hours. I probably could have done everything by now in an hour, hour and a half at the most. So pretty quick, pretty quick. So now 7 litres. You choose your oil, make your own decisions. I'm using a 5W30 synthetic, 7 litres, like 7.2 I think. But I'm going to put 7 litres in for now, and yeah, so that's what we're going to do. A nice little filler, just to make sure we don't spill any. And there we go, let's get it in. Happy days. I'll just put it all in, fill it up. Oh, or not, if you don't take the ring pull out. There we go, take the ring pull out. There we go, there we go, lovely. That's all finished now. I've just still got to do the fuel filter, but everything else is done. It's taken me about 2 hours, 20 minutes. The fuel filter is pretty quick. I'm going to do that in a minute. You might not be able to see me, but I'm just going to reuse these, because please dispose of all your oil properly, okay? Down at the recycling centre, I'm just going to pour all this old oil back into here and give this a clean up afterwards. Okay, right, I'm going to do the fuel filter next. Okay, so we're nearly done. The fuel filter is on the driver's side, the rear wheel, just up in here. There's like a little housing with just like a butterfly thumb screw that you just undo. It's just in here. You just pop it over and it goes round and undoes. It should just lift off. That's the housing. It's just literally just got a little locator there. Just locates, holds it in, and this side just slots onto a little pin there, just slots into a hole. And it goes in, goes in here. There it is. So there's the mark, that's where the thumb screw goes, and at the back here there's a pin around the back here. You can't quite see it, it's just in there, just there. And then this is the fuel filter here. It's dusty. This is a water sensor, which obviously does what it says. Detects if there's water in the diesel, because the water gathers, the diesel floats on the water, and it's water sinks to the bottom. And there's a little sensor in here, detects the fact that you've got water in the fuel. I've just undone the sensor. It's you have to slip a screwdriver up the back of this just to push this in, so it will slide off. And it just clips up inside there. And just a little screwdriver up the back and pushes that little lump in there, then it will slide off. And I can't quite work out how to take this off, and I don't want to break it. So be careful, and I'm just gonna, once you've done that, just turn it. And there's gonna be some fuel, as you can see, going in the bucket. So it actually unscrews. The new filter comes with this plug on the end. I guess it's got that in there just in case you don't have a replacement, or if this bit's broken or something, you can still use your fuel filter without the sensor on. So you just unscrew that. This one just unscrews. It was a bit mucky, quite a lot of fuel in there, and did get a little bit on the drive, but nothing too bad. So yeah, so screw that back in, screw it back on again, clip it back together. I'm going to try and prime the fuel pump now. So turn the ignition on. I can hear the fuel pump going. I'm going to pump this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can hear the fuel pump. Engine warning lights on. They're telling me that the fuel pump's pumping. Right, the fuel pump is priming. I don't know if you probably can hear it or not, but it's worth just leaving the cover off to check that you haven't got any leaks from the fuel. You don't want it squirting diesel all over the drive, do you? So that's it, finished. There was a little bit of faffing around. The oil filter was a bit fiddly. Air filter was a bit fiddly. Both the filters came off okay. Everything was pretty good. Let's just dispose of all this. I put all the old oil back in here. I'll clean the bucket out. That's going to get clean. Yeah, all done. It's taken me 3 hours, but that's including all of this filming as well, and resetting and everything else. So, you know, I think 2 hours is pretty good for taking your time and doing it for the first time. So I hope you enjoy the video, and have a look at the other 2 videos. I've done the diff oils and a bit of problem with the locking diffs. So have a look at the other 2 and like my videos. Thank you very much. Cheers, bye. Bleep, bleep. Shut up.